So that's what we're talking about today, is what we appreciate appreciates. I just, that title makes me smile. What we appreciate appreciates.
Makes me give me this appreciation. It's so true. And when you're grateful, you have more things to be grateful for.
Exactly it.
There is a lot of sayings that you hear about that growing up, but it is true. And when you appreciate something, but you don't, I'm going to say what we appreciate appreciates.
Debz is a stressologist. She will stretch your mindset to think bigger than you've ever thought before, with follow-through techniques that are realistic and achievable to blow any fear out of your mind. Moira is a mindset cultivator. She will help you align your personal trinity of self-trust, inner awareness, and self-confidence so that you discover and share your unique gifts and purpose. Together, their goal with these conversations is to share how our inclinations do not always work in our best interest and to provide the knowledge to leverage the gifts that already exist within each one of us. Their desire is to help you learn how to access the habits and behaviors that will lead to positive change and your best quality of life. Welcome to your deliciously motivated mindset.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello there, dear listeners. Hi, Deb.
Hi.
Hi. Here is Deb and Moira with another deliciously motivated mindset conversation. I love having these conversations with you.
I know, it's pretty special.
It's big high point of my week, getting to hang out with you and inspire different levels of looking at different things and having some fun and laughing and, all that good stuff that we do.
I think the thing is we don't know where they're taking us. Where we're taking each other.
Exactly. I think we've shared this with our listeners before, that we created this a long time ago, a big, long list of episode titles, but that's all we did. And so then when we come on to these goodies, these conversations, we light up at the titles, but then who knows where they're going to go.
Very excited about the titles. Oh, this is a goodie. Oh, this is a goodie.
Absolutely. And of course, true to form, this is a goodie today. It's talking about some of our favorite stuff to talk about. But before we get into our episode for today, we like to just take a wee pause, take a nice deep breath, and we're going to rate ourselves on a scale of 0 to 10. And this is to check in and see, how are you? Where are you at with your emotions, your thinking process, where are you? And it's just an assessment tool. And we encourage you to make a note of the number at the beginning and then check in with yourself halfway through when we do a wee pause halfway through our episode. And then again at the end. And that's what Deb and I do too. So all that being said, Deb.
I'm nodding.
Yes, she's nodding. Yes. Where would you put you?
Well, actually, that's an interesting, because I was really like, oh, what number am I? I'm actually going to say a 1. Just because we've just got on here and I've got this frog in my throat. I don't know if you're allowed to say frog in your throat. I've got a
yes, we do. We can say that.
And a frog in my throat. And this will be I'm really looking forward to it today, because I feel I'm ready to be wrapped into another level of love blanket.
Very good. And this is funny because I think we're on a roll now with it's been the same, because I was sitting here thinking, I think I'm a 0.5. And then I started thinking about the level that I'd like us to go to with this. And I thought, and I did get a little scratchy tickle in my throat too. So that's usually that something needs to be said or appreciated. So,
yes.
So we are both at a 1.
Well, I started at a 0.5 in my head.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's
what I said, though. I swear we're on a roll. I can't remember how many times this has happened. It's like, it's because we hang out with each other, right?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, it's because I appreciate you too.
That's what it is. We appreciate each other. So that's what we're talking about today, is what we appreciate appreciates. I just, that title makes me smile. What we appreciate appreciates.
Makes me give me this appreciation. It's so true. And when you're grateful, you have more things to be grateful for.
Exactly it.
There is a lot of sayings that you hear about that growing up, but it is true. And when you appreciate something, but you don't, I'm going to say what we appreciate appreciates. When we don't recognize it, we just see that things are just so flowing so easily. That's and right. You don't even think, oh, imagine if this had changed, or imagine if this hadn't have happened. You know, we just keep moving forward, and it's going, I was going to say, going with the stream down the river. You know, it just feels that
it's
huge
flowing.
Flow.
It is for sure flowing. Yeah.
And you don't notice it until you get a hump, and then you look back and you go, oh. But it's also about, you know, especially we're in the new year, looking back and just going, wow, look how far I've gone.
Absolutely. And how far I've gone, all the things I've accomplished, and then really appreciate the experience, the gifts, the opportunities, the people, the choices that you made, the choices that, so sometimes when people are given an opportunity to do something, choices don't always have to be yes. And so can you appreciate the times that you said no?
Yeah, and can you, because that is you at that time.
Right. That's right.
That at that time you use the best judgment you could do at that time to make that decision.
Exactly.
How often do you walk away and you go, oh man, I wish I'd said that, or I wish I'd done that, or da da da. The moment you walk, you let that go. Like,
it's gone, it's done.
Move on. You're walking forward, not looking behind you, you know.
Not in the rear view mirror, right?
Yeah, there is no rear view. This is where I'm going.
Yeah.
And you just have, when you appreciate and when you are in gratitude, your heart is just full. And you live a different vibration, a different life, a different thought process, you know, just those different levels. We had some beautiful divine food recently, and it was just, it was like, I don't know, somebody had bought some beautiful fresh asparagus. We had that. We had some lovely meat that had come from a farm, you know, my partner's parents' farm, and it was just a beautiful experience. And you could actually taste, it tasted different to supermarket,
of course,
shelf food.
Yeah.
And each mouthful, we were just like, it became this, it was a random meal. It was definitely a different meal, but we really appreciated that meal, that experience. The conversation changed. And then we started telling people about it, and they're like, oh my gosh, I know someone who's got a farm that you can easily get asparagus from. And it just expanded from that one meal that we really, truly appreciate. I mean, anyone looking in probably would have said it's over the top, but it was a beautiful, because we were like, oh my God, this asparagus tastes so delicious.
Right.
It had literally just been cut that morning from from the asparagus plant or whatever. I don't really know about asparagus, you know, and everything. And it was just, you could taste it and you could feel it like it was the goodness going in. Yeah. And then when we shared that with someone, we all obviously shared with that appreciation,
the animation of the appreciation. Yeah, I love it.
And they just went, oh my gosh, we know someone who can supply that stuff. And it I would say it again raised our vibration from that mealtime, but also raised their vibration.
So your vibration appreciated.
Yeah. And
That's
then
awesome.
they shared with somebody out, you know, oh, go to this place, that, you know, and so then it just became the ripple effect of that one level of appreciation just became so grand.
Right. It's so beautiful. And like you say, it's not just in the experience itself, it's the what. So that was an experience of appreciation, which appreciated your own level, your own enthusiasm about it, but you spread it around, which is so beautiful, particularly around the times where, you know, we can look on social media and look at headlines and see people complaining it and not really appreciating stuff. I tend to turn that off. But you know, the story I wanted to share was we've just recently had New Year's, and in the community I moved to, and we're still under quite a lot of restrictions. So not a lot of socializing and going out to you know, not like the big New Year's parties of long ago, right? But in this area, I didn't stay up till midnight, but then I got up to see the year in, because there were 3 different locations. I live on the edge of water, and there were 3 different locations where the people let fireworks off, and these were stellar fireworks. They were they were like big international type venue.
Wow.
And they were gorgeous. And to then be able to stand in the corner of my room and see it coming over both sides of my house and right in front.
Oh,
that was spectacular.
Great welcome into your area.
I know. And so it was like appreciating that I got to have that beauty. And it was like, that's the kind of beauty and experience that you would generally expect out of a, you know, downtown core city, big city thing.
And you're in your pajamas at
home.
And
I'm in my pajamas, exactly.
And you don't have to worry about driving anywhere, getting a decent car, you know, all those things.
And it was just gorgeous. It was gorgeous. And so that's the appreciating the people, appreciating the gift of all that. It was probably one of the most beautiful New Year's Eves I've had for a really long time.
But I think, and from saying that, now, as you said that, I then went to, when was the last time, Deborah, you saw fireworks? And mine was the year before. You know, we're going to bed and we were like, oh, we're not going to see the new year. And then we heard the fireworks. So I jumped out of bed and stood on the balcony.
Okay.
You know, and so when you were telling that story, I then painted my own picture of when was the last time you saw that?
Right.
Wow, I remember that. And I went there. So all the listeners, I guarantee, well, I'd like to think, you know, I guarantee that they all then went, oh, wow. And they visualized it.
Yes, exactly.
And so that's that whole thing yet again, you know, of appreciating your experience and you sharing that experience.
Yeah.
And then, you know, them going, oh, yeah, well, we haven't seen fireworks since I was a child, or wow, I remember the fireworks we used to go to. And just having that different level of, I'm going to say, awareness,
but of celebration or of visiting fun times in your own mind, right?
Appreciating what you have and what you don't have. And I think that's the other thing is appreciating what you have and what you don't have. Yeah. You know, we don't have fireworks anymore, but being able to pull upon that memory of going back.
Yes. Yeah. Because that we all have that gift of visualization. I think that it's a really important gift to use, you know, visualize yourself doing these things, visualize yourself. I have a woman I worked with many years ago. She had been working so hard to motivate herself to start being more physically active and you know, eating healthy, and then she had this real random accident. She fell downstairs in her home and really badly fractured her ankle. And she was kind of like, well, you know, I just got myself into this doing my walks every day, and Deb's laughing. What I had her do.
I'm laughing because I'm just like, she really was like, this is what I'm going to do. And the universe went, no, you're not.
Not right now. But so, you know, what I had her do was visualize herself continually doing these walks every day. Yeah. Because she had to, I think it was a 6-week process that she couldn't walk or anything. She actually ended up becoming fitter and losing weight, even during her convalescence. And it was the power of her literally, she would set aside like half an hour every morning. She'd sit and visualize herself that she'd got up and put her track pants on and her running shoes and going out and doing that. Yeah.
And she would have been appreciating her walk and her time out of the house and doing all that. And that's the stuff that that will have given her that inspiration while she's immobilized inside.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think visualization is a massive key to growth. And that is absolutely what We Appreciate appreciates.
Absolutely.
So when she went out and did her first walk, it would have been, or a first bit of exercise, it would have been so, she was like, oh, that's right, I forgot about the smell.
Yeah.
Or I forgot about.
And appreciated it even more.
In 6 weeks, the seasons can change very quickly.
Oh, for sure.
Very quickly. Oh, you're a big walker.
I am.
You know, and so you are just now appreciating your whole surroundings even differently because you've moved to a new area.
Yeah.
And weather-wise.
And weather-wise, yep. Lots of wind here.
Yeah, I was talking this morning, moaning about my heat day yesterday. Or I was like, let me just put a little perspective.
Just tell you how cold it is here.
Yeah, as yesterday it was 33 degrees. And you were, what were you?
-1, but it's -8 with the wind chill.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I didn't even think to ask you what your temperature was. Yes, that's unfortunate.
But even that, you know, that's actually something that's really, really beautiful about the area that I've moved to. We're talking about being a big walker. I do like to do my walks every day, unless it's like epic, dreadful weather. But that's a real vibe around here. It's like if it's pouring a rain or it's blowing a gale, there's still people out walking.
Yeah,
they dress smartly for it, but and I appreciate that because there's just a real. It's almost like it's palpable, the appreciation that people have for being in this area.
It's yes, and I think that's the thing is. But even when you're having a down day, if you're having a down day and you're out and you're going to find so many bubbly people, you're going to be like, because people are going to be glitter bombing you wherever you go. Because the more down you are, you know, people will just be like, and you will see it and you'll go, oh, leave me alone.
All right, I'll smile.
Exactly. And if you bump into me in the supermarket, I will definitely. You know,
glitter bomb you,
yeah. But it is those things, and you know, we have things to be grateful for. And
like dogs barking,
like now. And I was adamant that the dogs weren't going to join us today, but there we go. You know, because there are some amazing things out there, and there's some real crud things that happen, but you can easily turn them to amazing.
Yes.
When you're ready. But if you can recognize that crud thing or that down thing or whatever you want to label it,
so that's something that I firmly believe, that those crud things or those negative crazy making situations, I have a very strong sense that regardless of what they are, if we are in those kind of situations, we have the capacity and the resilience and the ability to come through, to get through to the other side of it. Sometimes you can't see it, and so that's all you can hold on to, right? Is to say, you know what, I can't see, but I know I wouldn't be in this situation or in this mess or in this chaos if it wasn't part of my design or part of my gift or something for me to appreciate. Right.
Yeah. And I think, and you don't have to fix everything right here, right now.
That's right.
Just sit and feel. I just saw that. I literally just saw that, and I went, "What is that going across Moira's face?"
I think it's some cat fur.
Yeah, it's like, what is that? That beautiful little thing just going.
White fluff ball.
Yeah, we just appreciated a white fluff thing. A little angel flew across Moira's face that she tried to float away. Get away from me, get away from me. I don't even know what I was talking about then. Something about appreciating. Appreciating the distraction.
Yes.
I think the key is just to, when you appreciate, you have more things to appreciate. Oh, that's right. You don't have to do it right here, right now. But if you can just acknowledge, if you can just acknowledge, that's a massive start to your evolution. And acknowledging is just the biggest first step.
It's totally. it to have the awareness of what's going on, and that you've got it, you've got the tools to get through it, and acknowledge. Even if acknowledge means right now, I'm gonna walk the other way for a moment, or I'm gonna just, put down that issue and say, I'm coming back to that in an hour or after I've had a walk. Talking about walks, right?
Can you hear this? Can you hear
them? Yeah. They're starting to join in the conversation because
I know what they're doing.
They're
going for a walk.
Oh.
They're going for a walk. And so what happens is when they go for a walk, they get so excited. Well, one gets very excited. The puppy gets very excited. And the older one's like, that's not how we walk. And he's like, let's go. Let's go. I know. I feel like I said to her the other day, I said, maybe we could do something, get one in the garage and get one all ready. And then we just pick the puppy up and just go instead of having this whole, are we going?
A quick wee message before we get back to this episode. You can get access to a special gift Moira and Debz have put together for you. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift. When you sign up, you'll receive instant access to an inner peace kit and the 30 Days of Wisdom program, both of which is intended to help you feel deliciously motivated right away. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift.
He is totally, our little one is 10 months old and he just lives in the present. Right. You can tell him off and he'll look you in the eye and go, okay. And then he'll just carry on. He totally owns his space, like, oh, hadn't thought about that. Okay. And just carries on.
Carries on his own merry way. Well, he appreciates every moment.
He loves, and we talk about it when we go to the dog park. People go, look at that little dog. And we're like, yeah, he's ours. He just happy as Larry, and he lives, and he's definitely live in the present moment. Mm-hmm. Doesn't worry about, oh, we're going on a walk. Okay, come on then. Okay. Oh, you want me to chew this? Oh, okay. But he just gets so excited that he'll bite anything, like puppy bite, anything around. So when it goes to this, like he got excited yesterday when we were leaving, he turned around and he bit the chair. And we're like, there was no bin around him because he nibbles on his ear. Right. And he was like, and we're like, did you just bite that chair in excitement? Yeah, he did. So we have to appreciate him because he gets us. If you're having a bad day, our animals just love you unconditionally. Right. Not all dogs and cats do that. If you're having a bad day, your princess, if you're having a bad day, she'll just snuggle up to you.
Oh yeah, she has her favorite times, and she'll come and yip at me to pick her up and put her on my lap, and she'll just sit there. She'll sit there for hours. If I'm having a tough day, she makes a really cute sound that it would just melt you. Doesn't matter what kind of funk you're in. She comes and makes her little trills and purrs and stuff. It's just kind of like that'll get you present.
Yeah, and if you want to avoid them, they just come near you. We had someone who didn't like dogs and came to our house recently, and I was like, oh, this is not going to go down too well. Mm-hmm. And of course, Finn was like, you're going to love me. You're going to love me. And Finn, who climbed up on the poor man on his lap, and we're like, come on, Finn, hop down, without picking him up. We're trying to get him to come down. He climbed then up his back and became a scarf on the man's neck. Now, Finn's a little dog, by the way. He's not like a German Shepherd.
Little fluff ball.
But he's never done that to anyone. And the man's like, it's okay. And the poor man was stiff as anything. He was like, it's okay. And then Finn started licking it. We're like, okay, we'll get him down. He's like, it's okay. We're like, if you loved him, he wouldn't be doing this. So we started patting them. Then Finn's like, yeah, righto. And
took off. That's funny.
We're like, yeah. So that's exactly it. What you appreciates. Oh yeah, you've acknowledged me, you've loved me, you've patted me. I'm on to my next person now.
Yeah, I have other people to snuggle up to.
What we were mortified. I was like, he's never done that. Like he's never tried to get on. He became a scarf on this man's neck, and we're like, oh my God, what do we do? And we said, That's exactly it. What you appreciates, you know. If you just love him, he's going to you because he knows you don't love him.
That's right. Because he's just gonna turn into a scarf, and then
he's
maybe
gonna
even
hound
not
you
the scarf around his neck.
Little fin. But it is about what you appreciate. You get more things to appreciate for, and you don't notice the weeds.
No, you don't. You don't. And actually, if you think about it, coming from that analogy, even if you do see weeds, all of a sudden you notice that they're all your favorite color flowers anyway.
I actually looked at the weeds in the garden yesterday and I went, wow, they've been watered because I have an automatic watering system, and went, look at the way the sun, I was looking at it yesterday, I was like, look at because there was a lot of weeds. I went, look at the way the sun's hitting the water that's still on some of the leaves.
Oh, beautiful.
Like, oh.
Yeah.
And then I just giggled and went, oh my God, you're appreciating weeds? As I say that, I'm like, are you appreciating weeds? I'm like, yeah, I am actually. That's kind of cute. And I hadn't noticed that before. But 2 days before, I did look at the weeds and go, oh, must find a new gardener. But then, I appreciated the weeds.
Well, there's always, but I do believe that there's always something to appreciate. It's like, what is the lens you're going to look at everything through?
Yeah. Well, it does give you a different level, and it will help your health and wellness, you know, if you appreciate all the little things, and all those little things add up. Appreciate the water, appreciate the internet, appreciate the space that no one's come to visit you because it's your space, appreciate you know, everything
going around just with this attitude of thank you always. It's so important. And I love that, what you just said. It's so true, that appreciation for that you can walk up and down the stairs, appreciation that you get to go and go for a walk, or even just sit in the couch, like appreciating all the things that you get to do and all the things that are around you, right?
Well, I absolutely, I say to people, if you're struggling to sleep at night, what are the things you're grateful for? You know, when you're lying in bed, if you can't sleep, think of the things you're grateful for right from when you woke up this morning. You know, I'm grateful that I woke up in a bed that the blinds were down and I could sleep a little bit longer. I'm grateful that, you know, my pillow was comfy. I'm grateful that my bed, you know, I had electricity that could allow me to see the clock beside me or whatever, all those things. And when you're lying in bed and you can't sleep at night, if you think about those things, I barely get past my morning tea time, you know, because you start going, oh, I'm grateful I managed to have a hot shower, or I'm grateful I didn't have a shower till lunchtime. I'm grateful, you know, and you start thinking more and more things you're grateful for, which can be seen as little things, but they're actually, all those little things do add up. And, you know, I'm grateful for my food I had, or I'm grateful for, I had to go to the supermarket, or I had to go to the markets or whatever, all those things. And you will fall asleep in a different mindset.
Absolutely. This is my practice too. I actually do this exact same thing, just listing out all the things I'm grateful for, I appreciate. And even it doesn't matter how little or insignificant they seem, you know, like the running water or the hot water, or for you, cool water would be more.
Yeah, but you know, you don't appreciate. I remember when I had an injury in my right hand, and you don't appreciate how much you use your hands. And then I had to wipe my body, my bum, you know, going to the toilet with your left hand. Oh my God, that's, if you're not left-handed, it's like, so then I'm like, oh my gosh, Deborah, appreciate your right hand. You haven't appreciated your right hand because that functions a lot easier than your left hand.
Absolutely. That's I broke my right arm and I'm right-handed, so I can relate. It's kind of an interesting experience, but that actually really appreciates your appreciation goes way up, because it means that you have to do, like, because I drove too. I don't drink.
You learn a lot of new things.
Yeah. So driving is like my left hand had to come over for operate the stick shift part, right? But I know it's actually a really bad story. People will judge me, but that's okay. I'll just be honest.
I know when I was in a wheelchair, I had an accident, I was in a wheelchair, and then I went to crutches. And so I would see people coming with crutches and I go, oh, it's an automatic door. I don't need to hold it open. I'll just carry on or whatever. But when I was in crutches, do you know how hard it is to walk through a door with crutches? Like you've got to back into there, you've got to push there, you've got to make sure you and so after that, after being in crutches, I really, because I wouldn't, oh, it sounds so bad, consciously, I probably wouldn't get out of the way for someone who's coming towards me in a crutches. I would just go, oh yeah, here I am in my mode, and I would walk,
right,
not knowing they've got to dodge you. It's a lot easier for you to move out of the flipping way for someone in crutches. Now, by the way, this is 15, 17 years ago. I did have quite a few life epiphanies when I was on those crutches. Had a lot of life changes, a lot of thoughts where I realized how self-centered I really was, and those little things. But, you know, and now I see people on crutches and I will give them a smile or a smirk or you know, empathy.
The nod.
The nod of, do you want me to hold the door open for you? I'm not giving you sympathy. I'm not, you know, I'm not trying to make your life easier, but if I can just open that door, I know what it's like. But it is those little things, and you appreciate your mobility.
And the fact that you have the awareness, because you know what I mentioned, I had broken my arm when I was going around, as I had my arm in a cast and strapped in a sling. And it used to make me chuckle, because if I saw anybody with a cast, didn't matter if it was on an arm or a leg or short one or long one, there was this nod. There's a nod. There's like, I see you. It's like, yep, I get it.
Yeah, so there's that ultimate bond. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You don't need to know how you got there, but we just know that you've got there.
Exactly. Well, so it's an appreciation, right? So I appreciate that you injured yourself somehow, and I see it. I gotcha.
Yeah, and when people tell you their stories, they go, "Oh, I broke my arm recently, or I did this," and like, "Oh, yeah, okay, well," and it takes you back to when you did it, and and you do. Yeah, you do. And it does make you appreciate. I know my daughter and I, when we were growing up, we used to say 3 things we're grateful for at the dinner table.
That's a nice
like
thing
I
to
would
do.
say something I was grateful for, then she'd say something, and and we would just do that. And when she'd go to bed at night, we'd do another couple of things just to plant beautiful seeds in her mind.
That's a lovely way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you can get your children to think of those things, just think of those things as they're going through and being okay with it. Yep. When chaos does hit, they're quicker to go and appreciate something than sit in a frazzled state.
Yeah, completely agree. And I think it's having that discipline. Like I said, I do an appreciation exercise every night before I go to sleep. It's the last thing I do. And to your point, it helps you ease into a restful state. It does keep you in a nice place. But I also like to have gratitude as I wake up. I appreciate this day.
Yeah, I did that this morning. Yeah.
And it's so I do a longer one at nighttime, because I'm just climbing down out of the day, and then a short one to just kind of frame it up. I appreciate this day. And
see, Moira's taught me is the hand on the heart and breathing. Yeah. And just reminding yourself that you live here, and and that is just hand on the heart. I live here. That's the gratitude right there, right then.
Absolutely.
I'm grateful that I can feel my heart. I'm grateful that I have my hand. I'm grateful that I'm in a public space and I can do this, and it can just, regulate me.
Calms your farm.
Yeah, calms your farm. Cousin Ben would say. But that's exactly it. It is just that,
and landing into the moment, really getting present.
It does absolutely get you present. Yeah. So I don't write a gratitude journal. I used to, and actually I haven't for a while. But do you write the things you're grateful for? I have them stored in my head.
I did do that process a long time ago. There's 2 different processes that I've done, and I've stopped them, but I still continue. So I just do them in my head now. I just my sort of rule for myself is that to name 5 things, but of course I get to like 10 or 20 and then they just keep going. It's like, oh yeah, I've got more and more and more. But I did do the writing 10 things, write 10 things before I go to bed. And then it was kind of like, well, I don't need to write them down because they're tangible for me. But then I did this thing, and it's from Rhonda Byrne's, I think it came from The Power. It wasn't the Secret book. It was the next one. But she interviewed different people of what their gratitude experience, like processes were. And she talked about this guy who had what he called a gratitude rock. And so, and I loved this idea. What he did was that he would hold it while saying, and it's almost like imprinting this stone with everything that he was grateful for. And he'd keep it with him so that if he was, having something that was chaotic or throwing him off, he would just hold the stone and it would kind of anchor back in some of that gratitude.
Wow.
So I loved that idea. And so I actually did it for years. I had a piece of citrine beside my bedroom clock, and I would sit on the edge of my bed and hold that and say out loud all of the things that I was grateful for.
Oh,
so
wow.
I did that. Like I said, I did it for years. I still have the citrine somewhere. But now I do it as I'm lying down.
Somebody says citrine, your memory would just go straight to.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think they're great things to remember, and we've just gone through Christmas and New Year, and there was a lot of people who were, well, I saw people going, I'm so grateful 2021's gone. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, be grateful for 2021 because there was a lot of lessons and blessings.
Absolutely. And part of who you're becoming. It's like everything was a gift.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I would say 2021 was boot camp.
Mm-hmm.
Boot camp of, here's an issue, deal with it. Quick.
Exactly. It was a very, very jagged, sort of sharp energy of poking, push. And it was changeable. And let's face it, that is the one constant that we all know that we need to do is change.
Well,
right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was getting complacent in certain things as well, but it's a beautiful. I am incredibly grateful for 2021 because it's.
Me too.
It was a magical year. Yes, there was pain, but that pain, that those weeds turned to flowers when I chose to look at them.
Yes.
And I think that's the thing is remembering, to be grateful, to choose what you're grateful for, what you have, what you don't have, those around you, those not around you, those, social media, not social media, just making your own choices.
I think the biggest thing about appreciating comes from when you realize that you are the co-creator of your life, right? It said that it's like, you've written the script.
I live here.
I live here. I've written the script on a soul level. I've written the script. So I'm the author, the director, the actor in this role. And so when I appreciate everything, then I know it's part of the grand scheme, as opposed to resisting anything. What you resist persists. And so if there's something that's a bit feeling like a block and I start resisting it, I don't want it to stick around.
But it gets worse.
It does. That's the point.
It gets worse, and you're left with
Exactly. Yeah.
I love today.
This has been a good conversation.
It's been a lovely conversation. It's been an appreciative conversation. So I know. Is there anything you'd like to say before we wrap it up, Moira?
I think just to reframe that part of it, it's appreciation is because you're here in this life, you did it, it's for you. And so have some fun with it. Name and claim your sovereign role in this game. It's a game still that you can appreciate.
Well, if you can do one thing you're grateful for every day, there's going to be a shift, and you're not going to. You're definitely going to find one thing, and then you're going to start getting more.
And they multiply because it appreciates.
Yeah, absolutely. And then multiply it again. So checking in with our numbers, you were a 1, weren't you?
I was a 1. We were both 1, weren't we?
You were both 1s.
Mm-hmm.
My telepathic psychic ability says you are a 0.
0. I'm a 0.
Yeah. I'm the same. I feel I'm going to say love blanket.
Actually, that was you set up that vibe. That's what you wanted.
Yeah, definitely.
The love blanket.
Yeah, that's one. So we're both there. So our lovely humans who are listening and non-humans who are listening.
There might be some, non-humans too.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Animals. Yeah, animals who are listening. What number would you be now?
Mm-hmm.
Just check in. And if you've gone further towards the 10 than you started, definitely reach out. But I would put your hand, if you do have gone towards the 10, I would put your hand on your heart, breathe, remind yourself you live there. Think of 3 things you're grateful for, and then listen to this podcast again and see what those triggers are that have escalated for you.
Yep. And there is always something to feel appreciation for.
Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. And you're human. Well, I like to think you're human. Yeah. So we do have.
You might be playing a human.
Yeah, exactly. We have these experiences. So thank you to everybody listening today. Thank you, Moira. What we appreciate appreciates.
Awesome. Thanks, Deb. Thanks, listeners. Talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.